We're in between segments with our guy, Kevin Harlan. Time for another Inside Wisconsin Top 5 list presented by the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, a top university here in Wisconsin. UW-Platteville ranks in the top 20 for regional universities in the Midwest because of its quality academic programs, expert faculty, and affordable tuition. Learn more at uwplatt.edu. I just saw this morning that UW-Platteville has announced that they have increased freshman incoming in the fall the last 2 years in a row. And I don't think many universities can say that. So good for them.
That is true. Did you know there are way more applications, but there are fewer students. You'll learn this as you get ready with your children as they get college age. But it's much easier to do like this common app. So if you got $50, you can send it anywhere. Where before you had to do it by hand. But because we're past baby boomers and all these other generations, there are fewer high school graduating seniors, but there are way more applications. So that you can increase your student body it's an admirable, that's an amazing thing. Good for them.
All right, so jumping into this week's top 5 list in honor of our guy and his radio call ability, Kevin Harlan, breaking life for us. I wanted to think back about the top 5 radio calls here in Wisconsin over the years. Clearly after 1983, but I love the radio, right? Bringing it to life. I started radio in my career. Obviously, you're a TV guy. Here we commingle on the interwebs. But back to radio, I'm just a big fan. So my top 5 radio calls, I'm curious to know if you maybe were on SportsCenter, and you told me a while back that you always search for the radio calls, right? When a big sports moment happens, you want to make sure to get the radio call, yeah?
They tend to go and try to find those. And my new thing now is always, because it always says, here's how it sounded on KJOH or whatever it is, and here's the guy. And I'm always like, okay, well, the national audience, most of them don't know where that is. So now what we've kind of done, and here is the Colts, Colts Hail Mary, and we're like, Colts, I'm like, let's just see if we can tell whose call this is, right? Because and sometimes we show both, but you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the Colts guy. We had that one a few weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, I'm almost positive that was pretty much the Colts guy when they come through. But yeah, that's for I think the reason you do that, Trevor, right, is because people want to hear the local flair. They want to hear how it is interpreted by that team, or whether that's the good side or interpreted on the bad side. And it is kind of an emotional thing that's kind of neat to hear when it comes through. I rarely hear those though, because I'm around. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, thank God you're there, because you listen to these things. And most of the time I'm like, no, I'm at work. I'm kind of watching, and, half the time the sound's not even up. And so, yeah, I'll be curious to hear what you have on your list. And then when you're done, I'll tell you about the broadcasting game we used to play and still do on occasion.
Nice. All right.
Kind of fun.
We'll get through this. So number 5, Ted Davis, Bucks play-by-play announcer for their championship. I often wonder if these things are pre-written, and I do believe that this one was pre-written. He said, as he was announcing that the Bucks were world champions, Wisconsin, we have a room at the top of the world, and then your Milwaukee Bucks are world champions. That I just love how they kind of make it about Wisconsin and the fan base. Not that they wouldn't do that, but if you get my point. Number 4, March 20th, 2016. I remember this. I heard this. Bronson Koenig versus Xavier. Killer buzzer beater in the corner. And the next thing you see on the TV piece is Bill Murray just completely stunned. Do you remember that? They beat Xavier to go to the Sweet 16.
Yeah. He's out here now, right? His kid, I think, works for UConn when they come through.
No repeats. So Ted Davis, 5. Our guy Bronson Koenig, obviously that's Matt LePay down there at the Badgers at number 4. Number 3, Yelly and Braun hit back-to-back home runs to win a game April 3rd, 2018. There's something, listen, all 5 of these could be Bob Uecker in a home run.
I was going to say, are we going to get up, get out of here, baby, or what? Is that where we're at? Yeah, okay.
We are. And that one was super interesting because obviously it was to win the game, right? 2018. But they're in the playoff hunt there in April. No, they weren't in the playoff hunt in April, but they were coming off of seasons that were playoff ready. 2018 was a big year. You could tell Uecker was into it. Yelly, home run to tie the game. Braun right after that home run to win the game. We'll see if we can't get away with playing a little bit of this audio when this all gets put together. We'll see how that shakes out. But number 3. Number 2, February 5th, 2012. We'll talk to Harlan about this as well. But Wayne Larrivee calls the Super Bowl championship for the Packers. And you could hear in his voice, rarely does a guy go up in terms of when he's speaking, right? And he goes, the Packers are world champions of football. And almost like he was I don't know if it's choked up or if it's just a moment where he was so into it, but I'll never forget that. I always go to the radio set.
He's gotten to call 2 world champions, right? Because he got to call the 85 Bears. Yeah. So he's
shuffle away.
Practice, yeah.
Good run. All right. Last one, January 26th. Here's number 1, 1997. Jim Irwin, Max McGee, the radio call for the Packers Super Bowl 31. It was obviously the first time since Super Bowl II that the Vince Lombardi trophy was coming home. And that's exactly what he said. The Vince Lombardi trophy is coming home where it started. The Green Bay Packers are world champions. Again, I get goosebumps just thinking about that. But there's something about the radio that brings it alive. Yeah. And whether it was Jim Irwin and Max McGee or Wayne Larrivee and Larry McCarron, who, by the way, I sometimes feel bad for Wayne because it's hard to get a word in edgewise. When something good is going on, Wayne's doing the play-by-play, and Rock's like, yes, go, yes. Every time.
That's not unusual if you listen to enough of them. A lot of times.
Uke is legendary. Matt LePay is legendary. Ted Davis is now retired in Texas, I believe. Back to Uke for just a second, as now we get into spring training here not long away. There's something, you probably don't do this, but I try to. The first radio Brewers spring training game, they usually put out a schedule for the spring training games. And when Uke signs on for the first time, it's sometime in February, typically in Wisconsin. The snow is falling. It's the coldest, gloomiest time of year. And then on pops Uke talking about spring training baseball, and all is right in the world. Just awesome. Like that. So, all right, what's this game? I'm intrigued here.
My buddies and I, who were all just, especially in college, right? We were all aspiring, and then we were all just sports crazy, and everybody had their favorites. So what we do is, if we were just sitting around bored and had no money, which is usually what we did, or had a bunch of cheap beer, is somebody would pick an announcer, and then another guy would just give the nonsensical setting. So you're like, you know what? What if Kevin Harlan was describing childbirth, right? And so and there's the mother in her light blue dressing gown, double tied in the back, white piping, and we just did dumb stuff like that, right? Or like if you can have Wayne Larrivee calling someone checking out at a grocery store. Oh, look at that. Nice choice there. Strawberries. Oh, we are having a sale on whole fryers and a dagger as she goes over $100 in like we just did stupid stuff. Like, so you have Keith Jackson, talking about how to unclog your drain. And it was just the dumbest stuff. Awesome. And we had guys that could do different guys really well. And, he's a St. Louis guy that is a legend in and around Missouri and did golf forever. Kevin, I know, will be all over him. I don't know you, but if you don't remember Jay Randolph, the original Round Mound of Sound, he was tremendous. So we would do Jay Randolph ordering coffee at the cafeteria. It's just stupid. But I encourage people to try that sometimes. Think of your favorite announcer and then just put him in just a stupid, nonsensical setting and see what he comes. It's just a thought.
Did you say that there was one that took the cake above all else?
It is, and I can't say it here. But I'd be happy to talk as many things. I'll be happy to take the answer off air.
Okay, got it. I won't go there. Thanks for the heads up on that. All right.
Here you go.
Our top 5 moments of amazing radioness, the best calls post 1983 that I can remember. Bucks, Badgers, Brewers, Packers, Super Bowl championships, and away we go back to one of the best, Kevin Harlan.